So just to summarize for expense accounts, how we do the brought down, carry down. So for an expense account, if you just want a summary, essentially if we have prepaid our expense, so we have something we're supposed to pay, which is an expense, and we've paid it or overpaid it, which we call a prepayment for next term. So we find ourselves in an asset scenario. That means that the brought down is going to be on the asset side. And we know from dead click that the assets we debit. So if it's an asset, which is a prepaid expense, that we would start the year with the brought down, that's what the brought down implies, the start of the year balance on the debit or asset side. If we have an accrued expense, something we are expected to pay, but we're late with it, we haven't paid it, it's accrued, then we would start that year with a debt, a liability. And liabilities have a brought down on the credit side. So if it's an accrued expense, that brought down would be on the credit side. Now we know brought downs are on the opposite side to carry downs. So if that was the case, then at the end of the year, balanced carried down, that we would have, if we had an accrued expense, it goes here, and at the end of the year, if we have a balance to carry down, which is a prepaid expense, that would go there. And obviously a prepaid expense at the end of the year would represent a balance brought down. A prepaid carried down there would come down on the other side, on the debit side. Okay, and then obviously this would come down on the opposite side as well. So if the brought down is going to be on that side for an accrued expense. Okay, so if you have a look, that's the same side as that. So an accrued expense brought down on the credit side, brought down on the credit side. A prepaid expense brought down on the debit side, prepaid expense brought down on the debit side. So essentially that's all you need to remember, and just then you can remember that the carry down is on the opposite side, which is the end of year balance. And that's just a quick summary of how to deal with expenses when they're prepaid or accrued. And all you need to do is remember that and apply that to any question or any situation you have.